Hey everyone, so yeah, some pretty weird times we're living in at the moment. Obviously here we're just trying to tip away as much as we can. Hardware stores and all sorts of stuff are closed, so I'm kind of working with what I got. But if you're new here, I'm Rhys and I'm building a 38-foot steel boat from a bare hull. I've been working on it for 2 years, and things are starting to come together. Now, in this week's episode, we're going to continue sanding, mainly, varnishing, fitting some of the gas lines to the cooker. We're going to look at the solar panels that I have, and we're just going to tidy up a few odds and ends and try and make the boat look a little bit more respectable. So let's get stuck in and we will get started on sanding some of the saloon cabinets and go from there. So I just did a quick test, and I connected the Hoover onto my new sander. I got a DeWalt sander because I envision us doing a lot of sanding over the next few months, and connected it on just onto my normal vacuum that I use, and then it sucks it up through those holes. So zero dust actually, I think. Like I was looking around there, it wasn't dusty at all, and the sander just did a nice job at the top there. So I'll sand the fronts. I've got to be careful with the sander on the edges because it'll just eat through them. So I'm just going to do the front face, and then I'm going to hand sand all of the awkward spots and any places like that, and then I can oil it, and then tomorrow I'll varnish it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm happy. That's awesome. Okay, so this has been wiped down with methylated spirits, well sanded and wiped down with meths. Gonna let that dry for 10 or 15 minutes, make sure that it's completely dried off, and then I'm going to give it a couple of coats of oil. I'm actually going to coat the front frame. I'm going to keep coating that about 10, maybe 15 coats of oil. The top I'll probably coat maybe 5 or 6 times. I'm not going to be too crazy about the finish on the top because that's going to be a hard wearing area anyway. So the main thing will be getting more varnish on there, and obviously on the inside as well. So yeah, basically the next while is going to be oiling and varnishing, I think. I've run out of screws, so I can't fit the doors at the moment. The joiner had to go away because of this whole virus problem that we're having in Ireland at the moment. So he'll be back when things calm down a little bit and the doors can be fitted properly and all the latches. I've kind of mocked this one up myself just with some timber I had, and it does work. So like the door, at least I have a door and somewhere to keep my alcohol and my clothes, which are two of my most important things. So yeah, obviously you can see already how much storage I'm using, and it's not even finished. So yeah, I'll crack on, try and get this varnished over the next few days, and then that can be used while that's being varnished. So yeah, let's crack on. So you might remember, geez, it must be 7 or 8 months ago now, we panelled out this room, or this cabin, and I had started the framing. I was going to do the framing anyway for the bunk, but I left that for the joiner. But because he's obviously on lockdown as well, not going to see him probably till July, maybe late July at this stage. So I'm going to try and have a go at it myself and try and get a bunk made. So I have the laser level, and I'm just going to try and I'm going to try my best to laser out where the bunk's going to be, draw it out on the hull sides, and then start building some kind of frame. Not 100% sure how to do it yet. I have an idea, and I've been speaking to a couple of guys that have done this kind of stuff before. So yeah, let's have at it. And worst case, in June, July, it needs to be ripped out and done again. But look, let's make it. Let's do what we can with it. Okay, so it's a pretty shite drawing, but hopefully it'll give you the idea. So here is the hose pipe, which is the chain, comes down here. This is the aft section, and that's the forward section of the bed. So originally I was trying to plane in a piece that would sit along the hull sides to add strength to the bed, but I kind of was thinking, why am I doing that when there's lots of timber to screw to already? It's not really necessarily going to add much strength if I have like cross beams going through here. Plus it was really awkward to try and plane that, so I'm going to put a beam here, here and here, and this will have a bulkhead on it, this will have a bulkhead, and obviously the front bulkhead, and it'll have some drawers for clothes. Then I'll have a single cross beam, or single beam, going from front to back like that, and kind of like joined in somehow. I need to do the joint. It should probably just be a slot and then jam that in, right? So you can roughly see the kind of idea of the frame. This will be supported under and in front of each one with this section of like ply cut to shape, so that these slot down into it. So this should be really strong and easy to take out. If I never need to take the bed out to get at the hull here, I can just take the 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5, maybe 6 pieces of wood out. And I think that should be plenty strong. I mean, when we were in there last year, and I threw like a really temporary bed, like these weren't even screwed in, they were just jammed in, and I screwed some ply on them, and they were really strong, and we were both able to sleep in it no problem. So that should give us like storage here for kind of clothes in those drawers, deep storage then down here, and then the anchor locker here obviously, so the chain locker here. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. A bit crap drawing, but look, I'll see what wood I have. I think I have enough just to frame it. I don't have enough ply to panel it out, but I have enough timber to frame this, which means we can frame it, paint it all up, and start to work on like the bulkheads and stuff. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Right, so we have the aft beam, the second beam, and the fourth beam. I haven't put the third beam in just yet, but I wanted to see how this how this bracket will work. So just a bit of 18mm ply, and it's kind of got a few weird angles in it and stuff, just so this beam sits in it, because it's going this way, this way, this way, so it's mad. But yeah, like I've screwed this to the hull in 2 places. I've put a screw here just into the hull so that it's strong here, and I've put 2 screws in there to stop this from twisting. And it's not the prettiest joinery, but man, I'm sitting on it there now, and yeah, it's strong. It's very strong. There's no twist, there's no movement, it's not creaking like mad. I think that's going to work. I'm pretty happy with that. So I think that I will just continue with this, and then as well I'm gonna cut these beams in so that this and that are joined together, so like one here and one here, and then there'll be drawers there and there, and then probably maybe like divided storage there, and then another kind of bulkhead here for deep storage here, and then that'll be maybe divided in 2, or just keep it in 1, so we can put like things that we aren't going to be using very often. Hopefully when we're in the med we won't need our foulies much, so we can stuff them in there, or we can stuff kind of clothes we don't use very often, or like spares for the engine, or spares for the boat itself. Plenty of room in there. And then obviously the anchor locker at front will be lined with fiberglass, and then kept so that the chain is off the steel, because right now it's leaning on the steel. So yeah, this is looking good. A little bit of a coat, just a flash coat of paint, just to keep the wood a little bit protected, and then I can kind of go back and paint that again. I'm going to paint all these frames when they're in as well. Yeah, this is going really well, and I'm really happy with this. I am really happy with it. So if I can step back and show you properly. So I've actually made this bed. It's only 6 foot long, so myself and Niamh are both well under 6 foot tall, very small people, and we'll be more than comfortable in here. There'll be a double mattress, memory foam mattress, so it might seem a little low here. The floor is probably going to be 1 inch higher, and then there'll be a 4-inch memory foam mattress on top that we're going to cut to shape and just put a couple of blankets on. But yeah, this is looking cool. I'm very excited, if I hadn't said that already. And I'm going to start cutting in some cross beams. So So there'll be a beam like that, and there'll be another one there. So I'm just going to chop in just a small little joint here, cut this guy here, and just press them in. This hopefully, if I build it the way I'm hoping to build it, which is like screw in here and then a bracket to support it. So literally, if this bed ever needs to come out to do any hull repairs or to get in here and do a deep clean or for any reason that you'd want to take it out, these can be just knocked out because they'll probably have one screw going down here or something. They won't be glued. And the same there, that can be taken out, and the forward beam can be taken out, and you can actually climb in and do anything you need to do in here, any maintenance work or anything like that. So this bed, yeah, it should be 90% removable, except obviously there'll be a bulkhead on the front here that will probably be pretty integral, so I probably won't be able to take it out. But you know, that's only one. It's only one plane anyway, so it's not such a big deal. But yeah, let's cut these in and see how that looks. So yeah, it's not quite perfect, but that's okay. Not too bad. Now, just to do that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So I'm just going to do that. Yes, I know I'm using a pen. Get over it. Right, so loads has been happening since I went into quarantine. We've actually added a couple of layers of paint to the tongue groove in the forward cabin just to keep things a little bit protected. I've finally finished the bed frame, so I was working on that in the last few clips. Just added some supports under here just to keep the bed very strong. Obviously these cross beams, and then just a quick coat of paint. This is extremely strong and I'm really happy with it. So what I was thinking as well, and I wanted to try it before I showed you, was I wanted to figure out some kind of way of making the boards drop in nice and easy. I was worried about having a sharp edge on the bunk boards going all the way to the edge, because there'd have to be a way of supporting them and stuff like that. It was just kind of seemed a little bit unprofessional. So what I did was I got these strips of 12mm ply. I've cut them to the shape of the hull, and there'll be a bead of sealant added to that, so it'll be sealed to the hull. And then I've added these 18mm furring kind of strips to take the board. So I'm currently making a template for cutting out the top board, so there'll be one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and one there. So it'll be 6 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a template out of this template ply that we cut last year. I'm going to make one piece first, and then I'm going to cut the boards into pieces then, so they all slot together really tidy. Same for the two there, and same for the one at the back. So yeah, let's crack on with that. I bought a little toy actually, and it's really, I wish I bought one years ago, a hot glue gun. So basically I can, nice cheap Aldi one, hold you there, so I just want to put an extension on this one and just put some glue down and then stick it in like that, and it goes off. And in like, I don't know, 10-15 seconds it'll go off. Did that one there, it's rock solid. It's just way easier than trying to put screws in here. So yeah, I wish I bought one of these a while ago. But yeah, let's crack on. So while I've been doing the forward cabin, I've been doing a bit of work on getting the gas fittings and all the stove and everything fitted, and I've been doing it like a little bit here and there, so it's been very awkward for me to try and film it. So I'll just show you how it looks now and what I've done. We've got a couple of little Iroko pads that hold the gimbal, so you can see the gimbal there is attached onto the pad on either side, and then we have the cooker obviously sitting on its gimbals, and then it gimbals like that, and then I'll show you around the back, right? So we've got a fitting here that goes onto the stove, so it's a compression fitting onto a hose tail, and then we've got the orange hose, and specs, or the British standards, or whatever standards you're going by, say that this cannot be longer than 1 meter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to coil it back, and it's going to go through the bulkhead here properly and protected, and onto this switch. So there's another hose tail here, right? So there'll be an on-off gas switch, but there'll also be a switch here that will activate the solenoid that will be in the gas locker. So there'll be a solenoid that we can switch off here, and that'll solve that. But we've got a copper tube that runs all the way back. I haven't fitted it at the back yet, so it's only going so far as the lazarette at the moment. So I'll show you. I need to fit a bulkhead fitting into the lazarette bulkhead. Then there'll be more copper tubing going on to a bubble tester. The bubble tester will tell me if there's any leaks, so you can just press that and it'll bubble. If there's bubbles, then it's leaking. And then there'll be a gas locker hanging off the push pit, which will have a gas hose coming onto a deck fitting, and then the solenoid will be in the gas locker. So I pretty strictly followed British standards. So don't come at me with that, it doesn't go, it's crap. It's fine, it works, and it's going to be very safe. I'm not complacent about gas. Gas is a huge concern of mine on board. Now I know there's options of like using alcohol and all these other different ways of cooking, but the gas for me just easy. It works, runs off propane. I can get the bottles anywhere I want. Yeah, there's differences in regulators and stuff, but like this is going to work really, really well. So yeah, we'll test this properly later on tonight. We'll just run a gas bottle from the cockpit with a rubber hose into the boat, just so I can test it and cook on it, and then take the regulator off every night, coil it up, put it on the cooker. That's just until we have a proper setup. I'm waiting for a few fittings, and then it'll be properly set up with a gas locker on the push pit and all things like that. But so yeah, next little job I want to do, I don't have everything I need as usual because I'm just waiting for stuff to arrive from online, is I have a couple of solar panels and I want to start making brackets for those. So here we have the washing. Just get rid of that. So here we have the solar panel and a random door that I've been varnishing. So the plan with the solar panel is to have aluminium bars, so 3 aluminium flat bars equidistant along the solar panel. And then on those flat bars, there will be this 3D printed bracket. So that will mount, say, here onto the flat bar. And then there's another piece that goes onto that, like this. And then that clamps onto the rail that isn't, I haven't got a rail in place yet, but there's going to be a rail between this stanchion and the push pit. So that's where my solar panels will be. And then I'll be able to loosen this off, and it'll be able to swivel up and down, or it will go like this, swivel up and down, and the solar panels can lock in either the open or closed position. These are 160 watts each, so they're giving just over 300 watts, which will probably be about 10 amps on a good day for the 2 panels. Obviously each panel is rated to 9 amps each on max, so I'm hoping to get about half of that on a really good day. So 10 amps, yeah, should be okay. Like, I have no autopilot. I'm just going to use a wind vane because they work really well. And well, for now. And yeah, shouldn't be anything else massive. I mean, I don't have a water maker yet. That's probably not going to be on the short-term list. That's going to be a long time away. Yeah, so these solar panels should run everything for now. So let's get some of the brackets fitted and test this. And if this works, I'm going to make more of them. There we go. So we have 3 rails on the panel. I can't go much further now because obviously I need to mount the rail along the push pit before I can get the alignment for the brackets and the position for the actual swivel brackets. But yeah, we should have those in the next few weeks and then we can continue. But let's do the other panel and put these away. So yeah, that's going to wrap up this episode. Now I know we didn't get many jobs actually started and finished, but the way things are going at the moment I have to order a lot of things in, which means that things take a lot longer to get here and projects and little jobs are taking a lot longer to do. So we have the bunk now built, so there's a frame for the bunk, we have the top panels for the bunk done so we can actually sleep on it. We have a mattress ordered, so that should be here in a few weeks, and all it needs now is the joiner to come in and do the drawers and stuff at the front of the bunk and put some cabinets in there. So I'm gonna leave the forward cabin now for a while and hopefully things will calm down and Jim can come back. We also got the solar panels, the frame for the solar panels built, and I want to test out the brackets that I designed when we get some rails mounted to the push pit, so we need parts for that too, so that's on order as well. Another big project that's coming up in the next couple of weeks when the weather hopefully gets a bit warmer is the non-slip on the decks. So I've got 1 litre or 4 litres of Kiwi grip. I'm hoping it'll be enough. I don't think it will, but I want to try and get as much of that done as I can, so if this lockdown gets lifted in the next few months I'll be ready and we can go doing a bit of sailing maybe in August for a week, or who knows, but I want to try and be in a position where we're ready to do that. We're also going to be doing a lot of work on the heads in the next few months, so I've ordered loads of fiberglass and stuff like that, so we'll be talking more about the heads coming up as well. We planned to be out of the water by now so that I could drill the seacocks and get the heads fitted, but obviously we can't haul out because everything's closed down. So I've just been moving projects that would have been later in the summer just earlier, and then I'll do those jobs later. So things haven't really slowed down too much. I've also been loving my new stove. Made pizzas today, which were awesome. But yeah, things are getting a lot more livable in here, and you can see like it's just a lot cozier and nicer in here. It's always warm, the heat is always going. Like if you just turn around, it's still obviously a massive project back here. We've got no companionway, we've got no heads, we've got no aft cabin. So obviously we're working our way back, and yeah, I'd say we've got a year of work left, but we're getting through it now. But anyway, I'm rambling, so I will let you guys go, and then hopefully in the next episode we'll be doing the Kiwi grip, finally fitting the solar panels properly, and yeah, stuff like that, just finishing jobs off. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.